ఇంటర్మీడియట్ విద్యారంగంలో అగ్రగామి మన ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్. ఐఐటి, జేఈఈ అయినా, నీట్ అయినా తిరుగులేని విద్యా సంస్థ ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్.
We have just completed the modern periodic table and the classification of elements. And here, during the discussion related to the classification of elements, as well as at very beginning, I have mentioned an important point. What is that? The total number of elements available are discovered at the time is 118. Among 118 elements, 104 elements were already given the names. And the remaining elements or 14 elements are named with or represented with the IUPAC names. And what about the details of the IUPAC nomenclature and how the names of the elements are given? That is nothing but the IUPAC nomenclature. How the names of the elements are given. That is the topic today. Generally, the atomic number of element consists of a number with 3 digits. And here the name of the element can be derived by giving the numerical or names of the numerical roots for the digits which are given in the atomic number. And the names also represented in the Latin words. Take for example, here this is digit and this is Latin name and this is symbol. This is for symbol. Digit 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. 0 is represented as nil. 1 represented as un. 2 by. 3 represented as tri. 4 represented as quad. 5 represented as pent. 6 represented as hex. 7 represented as sept. 8 represented as oct. 9 represented as n. Here what is the symbol of 0? Small n. And this is small u. And this is b. And this is t. And here q. And this is p. And this is h. S. O. E. N or E. Right? And here based on this, we can give the names of the numerical roots for the digits that are given in the atomic numbers of elements. Take for example, let us consider 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113 and 114 and 115, etc. These are all the atomic numbers of the new elements which are not given the names, but they are represented with the IUPAC names. Here the concept of the topic is represented as or named as IUPAC nomenclature. Now, what is the first digit? 1. 1 is represented as un. Next one 0. 0 is represented as nil. And once again 1. Actually, this is the representation of the digits by using the numerical roots. And finally, we have to add the word em. This is the name of the element. This is the name of element. This is the atomic number. This is the name of element. And here this is the symbol of the element, right? How can you write the symbol of element? First one, U, un. Second one, second digit, nil, small n. Third digit, un, U. U. Second one, first digit, un. Second digit, nil. Third one, by plus em, by m. Symbol UNB. 103, un, nil, try, em, UNT. 104, un, nil, quadrium, UNQ. 105, un, nil, pent plus em, pentium, UNP. 106, un, nil, hexium, name of the element, UNH. Un, nil, septium, UNS. Un, nil, octium, UNO. Un, nil, ennium, UNE. And this is once again here the name is approached different way. First digit un, second digit un, third digit 0, nil plus em, nilium, UN. 111, unium, UUU. By M, UUB. 113, trium, UUT. 114, quadrium, UUQ. Pentium, UUP. And here we can write or we can name the remaining elements also. What are the remaining elements? After 115, here 116, 117 and 118. First digit un, second digit un, third digit hex plus um, hexium, septium, US, octium, UUO. This is about the nomenclature of the or naming of the elements that are not yet to named by the IUPAC or had to name it in the modern periodic table. And here 101, 102, 103, 104, these are all the atomic numbers. Based on the atomic numbers, we can write the numerical roots or names of the numerical roots in the Latin language, and finally we are adding the names of the three digits and adding a suffix that is em. Take for example 101, an, nil, an, em, an, nil, unium, 101. And here digits also represented in a systematic way. 0 is represented as nil and its symbol small n. 1, un, 2, by, 3, tri, 4, quad, 5, pent, 6, hex, 7, sept, 8, oct, 9, nm or n. And here this is about the naming of the elements in the modern periodic table, and which are not given the names at present also. But unfortunately, all the elements are represented with different names in different countries. In United States, they are represented in one way, and in Soviet Russia, that means Russia, and they are represented in another way. As a result of that, here for the recognition or for the identification throughout the world, here IUPAC was given a system of nomenclature for the naming of unknown elements, or unknown means elements that are discovered but the names had to be given. This is about the concept of IUPAC nomenclature of elements. After that, we have to go for the next classification also. What about the next classification? What about the next classification? This is an interesting one. Before going to discuss about the next classification, we should familiar with an important term. What is that? Differentiating electron. Differentiating electron. Differentiating electron. What is differentiating electron? The electron which enters last in an atom or in an element is known as the differentiating electron. Take for example, let us consider an element hydrogen. Its atomic number is equal to 1. Electronic configuration 1s1. Here that can be represented as this one. And same time we can write the second element also, that is helium, atomic number 2 and electronic configuration 1s2. How can you represent the arrangement of the two electrons? This is the first electron and this is the second electron. In case of the two element, the first two electrons are having same quantum numbers, all the four quantum numbers same. But here, in case of helium and hydrogen, or by comparing the arrangement of electrons, there is a difference in the second electron only. This is the electron that differentiates the two elements, so that is known as a differentiating electron. How can you understand the word differentiating electron? The electron which enters last in an atom or in an element is known as a differentiating electron. Okay. But what is the significance? What is the role of the differentiating electron in the classification of elements? That is, after the introducing of the modern periodic table, some other scientists are made some efforts to classify the elements in different way. What is that? Based on the type of the subshell into which the differentiating electron enters. I am repeating once again. Based on the type of subshell. Subshell means that may be S, that may be P, that may be D, that may be F. Based on the type of subshell into which the differentiating electron enters, here total elements present in the modern periodic table are divided into 4 blocks. That is nothing but the classification of elements into blocks. 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 Based on the type of subshell into which the differentiating electron enters, here the elements in the modern periodic table are divided into 4 blocks. Means what? Here this classification is given on the basis of the electronic configuration. Means here the 4 blocks are, first one, S block elements. S block elements. Here actually there are 4 blocks, S block elements, P block elements, D block elements and F block elements. And here the first one is the S block elements. What about the important features of S block elements? Very simple. The elements in which the differentiating electron enters into S subshell are known as S block elements. The elements in which the differentiating electron enters into S subshell are known as S block elements. Here, the general electronic configuration of S block elements is NS122. This is the general valence configuration actually. General outermost electronic configuration NS122. Here, in S subshell, there is only one orbital. In that orbital, we can accommodate only 2 electrons. So, in S block, the total number of groups present is 2. 2 groups are present in the S block elements. And the oxidation state that are shown by S block elements are +1 and +2. +1 and +2. Here the S block elements are present at extremely left side of periodic table. Right? And they are highly electropositive. And they are strongly metallic in nature. And they act as, or they are used as, good reducing agents. And they have larger atomic volumes. And they have relatively low density. And they have low melting points and boiling points. They have low melting points and boiling points. They have low density and they have larger atomic volumes. They are act as good reducing agents and they are strongly metallic in nature and they are highly electropositive. Here, whatever it may be, that may be electropositive or metallic nature, means the tendency of losing electron, tendency of losing or lossing electron. As a result of that, here the S block elements exhibit the oxidation state +1 and +2. The elements in which the differentiating electron enters into S subshell are known as S block elements. The general outermost electronic configuration of S block elements is NS1 to 2. Here, in each S subshell, only 2 electrons are present. Means, in S block, we can accommodate only 2 groups. Right. What about the general oxidation states of S block elements, +1 and +2? What are the important features? What about the important characteristics of the S block elements? They are present at the extremely left side of the periodic table, and they are highly electropositive. They are strongly metallic in nature, and they act as good reducing agents. They have larger atomic volumes, and they have low densities, and finally they have low melting points and boiling points. And we can give so many features of S block element. They are soft, and they can be cut with knives also. Cut with knife also. They are soft and they can be cut with knife. These are all the characteristics of S block elements. Okay. But what about the examples? Here, first A group elements and second A group elements. Lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium and francium. Lithium atomic number 3, 11, 19, 37, 55, 87. And the electronic configuration, helium 2s1, neon 3s1, argon 4s1, krypton 4d10 5s1, 5s1, xenon 5d10 6s1. They can be shown within that also. 5s1, 6s1, radon 7s1. And in the same way, in second group, beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium and radium. Beryllium atomic number 4, magnesium 12, calcium 20, strontium 38, barium 56, radium 88. These are all the first year and second year group elements. And here I can give the example for the electronic configuration of second year group elements also. Helium 2s2, neon 3s2, argon 4s2, krypton 5s2, xenon 6s2, radon 7s2. What about the general electronic configuration of first year group elements from this? Here, from this we can identify that general electronic configuration of first year group elements is NS1. By losing the outermost electron, they exhibit the oxidation state, that is +1. And here, in case of the second year group elements, general electronic configuration is NS2. And the general oxidation state is equal to +2. And in S block elements, the radioactive elements are francium and radium. They are radioactive in nature. This is about the details that are related to the S block elements. Right. But in objective examinations or in our study materials, in module 1 or module 2, from the questions given in the concept are like this. What are they? What is the general electronic configuration of S block elements? NS1 to 2. Number of groups present in the S block in the modern periodic table 2. What is the general oxidation state of alkali metals plus 1? Here what is alkali metals? First A group elements are also known as alkali metals and they are strongly basic in nature. They act as good reducing agents and they are also known as alkali metals, and second A group elements are commonly known as alkaline earths. Alkaline earths. What is the general electronic configuration of second A group elements or alkaline earth metals NS2? What is the general oxidation state plus 2? And there is another important point. Which one of the following element is radioactive in S block? Here francium and radium. Francium and radium. This is about the details related to S block elements. Next one. The next block is P block elements. How can you define P block elements? The elements in which the differentiating electron enters into P subshell are known as P block elements. And it is very easy to give the definition from the previous case, that is nothing but S block elements. The elements in which the differentiating electron enters into S subshell are known as S block elements. In the same way, the elements in which the differentiating electron enters into P subshell are known as P block elements. Right. Here, the general electronic configuration of P block elements is NS2 NP 1 to 6. Here you have no need to think about the S. Here this is the outermost P orbital or outermost P subshell. How many electrons can be accommodated in the P subshell? 6. So the total number of groups that can be accommodated in the P block is equal to 6. In long form periodic table, they are present at the right side. The elements from third A to 0 group. The elements from third A to 0 group are come under P block. And this is the general electronic configuration. But here what about the oxidation states that are shown by P block elements? They exhibit the oxidation states from -3 to +8. -3 to +8. Okay. But what about the important features of P block elements? Look at the first one. Here P block elements are having relatively higher melting points and boiling points, and they have high electronegativity, and most of P block elements are non-metals. Very few are metals and also metalloids. They are very reactive. They act as good oxidizing agents and they form covalent compounds. Here S block elements forming ionic compounds, but P block elements forming covalent compounds. If you are comparing the features of the P block elements with the S block elements, they are completely contrast. And here S block elements are present at the left side of the periodic table, but the P block elements at right side of the periodic table. And here S block elements are having low melting points and boiling points, but here P block elements are having higher melting points and boiling points. S block elements are highly electropositive, but P block elements are highly electronegative. And most of the P block elements are non-metals. There are very few metalloids and also metals, and they are very reactive, and they act as good oxidizing agents. But what about S block elements? S block elements act as good reducing agents, but P block elements are act as good oxidizing agents. S block elements forming ionic compounds, P block elements forming covalent compounds. These are the important points related to the P block. Right. What about the examples? Before going to learn other chapters, you should familiar with the elements of each and every group in the periodic table. You should familiar with the names. Here the first one, third A, fourth A, fifth A, sixth A, seventh A, eighth A are 0. Third A group elements, and here this is also known as boron family, and general electronic configuration Ns2 Np1. What are the elements present in third A? Boron, aluminum, gallium, indium and thallium. Boron atomic number 5. Ns2, 2s2 are simply helium 2s2 2p1, aluminum 13, neon 3s2 3p1, gallium 31, indium 49, thallium 81. And here, what about the outermost electronic configuration? 2s1 2p1. In case of aluminum, 3s2 3p1, gallium 4s2 4p1, indium 5s2 5p1, thallium 6s2 6p1. Therefore, general electronic configuration is Ns2 Np1. And third A group elements exhibit the oxidation state from -3 to +3, including 0. In the elemental state, this is the oxidation state shown by the elements 0. Okay, this is about the boron family. And what about the fourth group? Carbon, silicon, germanium, tin and lead. General electronic configuration Ns2 Np2. And this is also known as carbon family. Carbon family. And carbon atomic number 6, silicon 14, and germanium 32, tin 50, lead 82. Carbon electronic configuration helium 2s2 2p2, silicon neon 3s2 3p2, and germanium argon 3d10 4s2 4p2. And next one, tin, krypton 4d10 5s2 5p2. In the same way, lead 6s2 6p2. By comparing or by observing the outermost electronic configuration, it is clear that the general electronic configuration of 4th A group elements is Ns2 Np2. And next one, 5th A group elements. What about the 5th A group elements? And we can mention some other important feature also. In 4th A group elements, the oxidation state that are shown by the elements carbon to lead are -2 to +4 including 0. -2 to +4. This -2 is very rare. In most of the cases that is +2, 0 and +4 etc. And general oxidation state of 4th year group elements is +4. Along with that exhibit the oxidation state +2 also. In rare cases only that exhibit the oxidation state -2. That too in organic compounds. Next one. 5th year group elements. What about the 5th year group elements? This is also commonly known as the nitrogen family, and they are also represented as nicogens. And the general oxidation state of 5th year group elements is +5. Along with this, the other oxidation state that is shown by the 5th year group elements is +3 also. And here what are the elements? Nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony and bismuth. Nitrogen atomic number 7, 15 and 33. Antimony 51. Bismuth 83. Nitrogen 7, helium 2s2, 2p3. Phosphorus, neon 3s2, 3p3. Arsenic 4s2, 4p3. Antimony 5s2, 5p3. Bismuth 6s2, 6p3. And here from the outermost electronic configuration we can easily identify that the general electronic configuration of 5th year group elements is NS2, NP3. NS2, NP3. And the general oxidation state is +5. Along with +5, they exhibit the oxidation state +3 also. They exhibit the oxidation state +3 also. This is about the 5th year group element. What about the 6th year group? That is also known as oxygen family. They are also commonly known as chalcogens. And the general electronic configuration NS2, NP4. And the general oxidation state shown by the 6th year group elements is -2 to +6. And the elements are oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium and polonium. Oxygen atomic number 8. Sulfur atomic number 16. Selenium atomic number 34. Tellurium atomic number 52. Polonium atomic number 84. And here the electronic configuration helium 2s2, 2p4. And this is neon 3s2, 3p4. And in the same way, selenium 4s2, 4p4. Tellurium 5s2, 5p4. Polonium 6s2, 6p4. By losing the two outermost electrons, they exhibit the oxidation state +2 also. But highly electronegative element of the 6th year group, that is oxygen, that exhibit the general oxidation state -2. And here polonium is the radioactive element. This is a radioactive element. And general electronic configuration is NS2, NP4. And general oxidation state is -2. And same time they exhibit the oxidation states in the compounds from -2 to +6. And next one, 7th year group elements. They are also known as halogens. And the general electronic configuration is NS2, NP5. And the general oxidation state is -1. Along with -1, they exhibit the oxidation state +3, +5 and also +7. And here what are the elements? Fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, astatine. Fluorine atomic number 9, chlorine 17, bromine 35, iodine 53, and next one astatine 85. And here the electronic configuration helium 2s2 2p5. So in case of chlorine neon 3s2 3p5. In the same way, bromine, iodine and astatine 4s2 4p5, 5s2 5p5, 6s2 6p5 respectively. And this is about the 7th year group elements. But what about the 8th year group elements or 0 group elements? They are also known as noble gases, and they are also known as inert gases. They are also known as aerogens, and they are also known as rare gases. Whatever it may be said, 8th year group elements or 18th group elements are noble gases or inert gases or aerogens or rare gases. Whatever it may be, they are collectively represented as 0 group elements or 8th year group elements, whatever it may be, that is also known as 18th group elements. Here, general oxidation state is equal to 0. But they exhibit the oxidation states +2, +4, +6 and +8. The two exhibited by the elements krypton and also xenons. And general electronic configuration is Ns2 Np6. And the element that are present in the 0 group or noble gases is helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon and radon. Helium 2, that means 1s2, neon 10, argon 18, krypton 36, xenon radon 86, xenon 54. And here 1s2 doublet configuration, it has a doublet configuration. And neon 1s2, 2s2, 2p6 octet configuration. Argon 3s2, 3p6, krypton 4s2, 4p6, xenon 6s2, 6p6, radon argon 3s2, 3p6, krypton 4s2, 4p6, xenon 5s2, 5p6, radon 6s2, 6p6. And here in all these elements, the outermost electronic configuration is Ns2 Np6 except helium. This is the p block element. This is the p block, that means actually this is the s block element that present in the p block in the long form periodic table. Here the question is asked like that. The s block element present in the p block is helium. The s block element present in the p block is helium. This is about the brief outlook related to the p block. After this, D block elements and F block elements. F block elements. Because they are having closer similarities in the properties, so we can compare side by side. D block elements. What about the D block elements? The elements in which the differentiating electron goes into or enters into D subshell are known as D block elements. D block elements. The general outermost electronic configuration is Ns1 to 2, n minus 1d 1 to 10. Here the differentiating electron goes into d subshell. How many electrons can be accommodated in the d subshell? 10 electrons. 5 into 2, 10. So the total number of groups in the d block equal to 10. And they exhibit the general oxidation state, that is equal to +2. And the maximum oxidation state, that is shown by the d block elements, equal to +8. The elements from 3rd B to 2nd B. The elements from 3rd group to 12th group, whatever it may be. The elements from 3rd B to 2nd B, or the elements from 3rd group to 12th group, or the elements from scandium group to zinc group are collectively represented as d block elements. But here there is a specialty. In long form periodic table, the d block elements are present in between the s and p blocks. They represent a gradual change in the nature of elements from highly electropositive nature to highly electronegative nature. And same time, the nature of the compounds is also varies from ionic to covalent. I am repeating once again. In long form periodic table, here the d block elements are arranged or present between the s block and also p block. Here the s block elements are highly electropositive. They form ionic compounds. And the p block elements are electronegative. They form covalent compounds. What is the meaning of that? As we move from left to right in a periodic table, the nature of elements varies from electropositive nature to electronegative nature, and varies the nature of the compounds from ionic to covalent. But here the d block elements are present in between these s block and also p block. Means what? They represent a gradual change in the nature of elements. They represent a gradual change in the nature of elements in the periodic table. So, generally or commonly, d block elements are also represented as transition elements. In long form periodic table, the d block elements are arranged in 4 horizontal rows. And here this is first horizontal row, second horizontal row, third horizontal row, and fourth horizontal row. Here first horizontal row is represented as 3D series. Second horizontal row represented as 4D series. Third one represented as 5D series. And fourth horizontal row represented as 6D series. 3D series begins with the scandium and ends with the zinc. That is second B group. And next one, 4D series begins with the yttrium, ends with the cadmium. And 5D series begins with the lanthanum, ends with the mercury. And 6D series begins with actinium, ends with the element with atomic number 118. Now we can represent with IUPAC nomenclature. 1 means un. 8 oct plus em. Octium. Symbol UUO. And here each horizontal row contains 10 elements each. Each horizontal row contains 10 elements each. They are arranged in 4 horizontal rows in between the S and P blocks. Each horizontal row represent as a series, and they are 3D series, 4D series, 5D series, 6D series. Okay, and here 3D series begins with scandium, ends with zinc. 4D series begins with yttrium, ends with cadmium. 5D series begins with lanthanum, ends with mercury. 6D series begins with actinium, ends with unactinium, with atomic number 180. And these are all the elements that are arranged in the horizontal rows. But once again, there is a special feature is there in the D block elements. They have similarities in the properties across the period and also group. They have similarities in the properties. They have similarities in the properties across the period and also group. That means the element to element, generally the properties are varied. But here, in case of D block elements, all the D block elements are having closer and similar properties. Okay, but what about the general characteristics or features of the D block elements? First one, they are all metals and existed in the solid state except mercury. They are all metals and existed in the solid state except mercury, and they have high melting points and boiling points, and they are good conductors of heat and electricity. They are good conductors of heat and electricity, and they exhibit paramagnetism, and they form alloys, and they form complexes, and they form colored ions. I am repeating once again. All the D block elements are metals except, that means metals and existed in the solid state except mercury, that is existed in the liquid state. They have high melting points and boiling points. They possess metallic luster and they are good conductors of heat and electricity. They exhibit paramagnetism. They form alloys. They form complexes. They form colored ions. Here these are all the properties. And they have, as a result of that, or due to this particular one, I have mentioned an important point. In D block elements, across the period and also group, the properties are similar. And there is an important note. Here, the element lanthanum and actinium belong to D block, but not F block. That is very, very important point. The lanthanum element belong to D block. Actinium element belong to D block. They are not belong to F block. Of course, lanthanides from cerium to lutetium represented as lanthanides, and from thorium to lawrencium are represented as actinides, but the elements belong to D block. Lanthanides and actinides belong to F block. That is very, very important point, and you have to keep in mind. This is about the important features of D block elements, right? What about the F block elements? The elements in which the differentiating electron enters into F subshell are known as F block elements. And the general electronic configuration of F block elements is ns2 n-1d 0,1 n-2f 1 to 14. Here the differentiating electron in F block element goes into n-f subshell, and the general oxidation state of F block elements is +3. They are also represented as inner transition elements. Here the F block element belongs to 6th period and also the 7th period. and they are arranged in two horizontal rows at the bottom of the main body of periodic table. And first one, lanthanides. Lanthanoids begins with the element cerium 58, ends with the lutetium 71. Actinoids begins with the thorium 90, ends with the lawrencium 103. Here the total number of lanthanides equal to 14. Total number of actinides equal to 14. But how the F-block elements are appeared in the long form periodic table? Look at here. In long form periodic table, in 6th period, the period splits from or splits at lanthanum 57 and included at hafnium 72. The 14 elements which are separated from the main body of periodic table are chemically similar with the element lanthanum. As a result of that, the 14 elements are known as lanthanides. They are also known as rare earths. They are also known as lanthanodes. And in the same way, in 7th period, the period splits at actinium 89 and included at rutherfordium 104. The 14 elements which are separated from the 7th period are chemically resembled with the element actinium. As a result of that, the 14 elements are known as actinides. They are also known as actinodes. Most of the actinides are radioactive in nature. They are radioactive elements. They are radioactive elements. They are also known as man-made elements. They are also known as synthetic elements. Synthetic elements. And this is about the F-block element. They are present at the bottom of the periodic table in two horizontal rows, and the total number of F-block elements equal to 28. All the 28 elements belong to third B in the long form periodic table. Here the lanthanide begins with the cerium, ends with the lutetium. Actinides begins with thorium, ends with the lawrencium. In actinides, most of the elements are radioactive. They are not naturally occurring in the nature. They are available or they are obtained during the radioactive disintegration of uranium. That too particularly the elements beyond uranium. So, the elements beyond uranium are commonly represented as transuranic elements. Transuranic elements. Right. What is the general oxidation state of F-block elements? +3. What is the general outermost or general electronic configuration? NS2, N-1D 0, 1, N-2F 1 to 14. Here. In lanthanides, the differentiating electron goes into F subshell, 4F subshell. So that is also known as 4F series. In actinides, the differentiating electron goes into 5F subshell. So they are also known as 5F series. And finally, we can give a statement. The properties of F-block elements are almost all, or the properties of F-block elements are very similar to that of the properties of D-block elements. What are they? D-block, all D-block elements are metals. Here all F-block elements are metals. And D-block elements are having high melting points and boiling points. F-block elements are also having high melting points and boiling points. They are all good conductors of heat and electricity. F-block elements are also good conductors of heat and electricity. And they exhibit paramagnetism. F-block elements also exhibit paramagnetism. And D-block element forming alloys. F-block elements are also forming alloys. And D-block element forming complexes. F-block elements are also forming complexes. Okay. And what is the meaning of this? Both the D-block elements and F-block elements are having similar properties or closer properties. F-block elements are also known as inner transition elements. And D-block elements are known as transition elements. Means what? F-block elements are a part of D-block elements which are technically deviated, which are technically deviated. Here a block elements are obtained from the are separated from the sixth period, and next actinides are separated from the seventh period and lanthanides are separated from the sixth period. Totally a block elements are getting separated from the D block and they are placed at the bottom of the long form periodic table in two horizontal rows, and total number of F block elements equal to 28, and all the F block elements are come under a single group, that is third B. This is about the important features of the classification of elements into blocks based on the electronic configuration.